What's up, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse? Welcome back to the Marvelous Wave, and today we continue our coverage of post-Spider-Man No Way Home as brand new features and concept art is being released for No Way Home in approach of the release of the Blu-ray, which some fans actually currently have their hands on. A large part of the special features obviously focuses on the returning villains in Spider-Man No Way Home, but specifically their design. And today we have a brand new design from none other than the Green Goblin, but it doesn't actually have to do with the Goblin's costume itself. Rather, it has to do with his glider. The Goblin actually sports his original glider from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, which wasn't really updated at all. However, according to this brand new concept art, it's revealed that the filmmakers actually did in fact play around with the Goblin upgrading his glider, and it actually has a big significance and pull to the Goblin character and where he is at mentally in the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. In the beginning of Spider-Man No Way Home, it was quite a shock to see the Green Goblin smash his helmet, with the personality of Norman Osborn taking back control of his body from the Goblin after some time, as the Goblin persona reigned for the majority of his time in the original Spider-Man 2002 film. Therefore, logistically, it would make sense that Norman would at least have a period of time where he would take over. This fact, though, that subconsciously the Goblin actually preserved his mask that he destroyed and integrated it as a part of his glider, I think is a huge telling and plot point that should have been kept in No Way Home. The fact that subconsciously the glider is there. In the special features, they talked about why it was so important to remove the helmet from Willem Dafoe, as it allowed the actor to emote, as this was a major complaint that he had in the original Spider-Man film. The fact that he felt like he couldn't really move around in the original Green Goblin uniform, and the fact that his facial expressions were hidden underneath the helmet. Now the fact that everyone knows that Norman Osborn is in fact the Green Goblin, it allowed this massive redesign that allowed Willem to again act more intimately with the actors around him, specifically Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and really emote like he wasn't able to in the original film. Still though, I would have loved the idea of the Goblin mask showing up in the glider in the final iteration of the Green Goblin that we see in No Way Home. It appears as if a lot of stuff was actually cut from the Goblin in the finale of No Way Home, including a battle that he was going to have with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, as this was going to be the rematch of the last 20 years, with Tobey and the Goblin coming to blows yet again. However, the filmmakers deemed it most important and most appropriate for Willem to fight Tom Holland's Spider-Man, as over the course of the film, the Green Goblin really does become Tom Holland's Green Goblin as much as he is Tobey's. Still though, I would have loved this little design update with the glider, as the glider only looks slightly different than it does in the original Sam Raimi film, and I love the idea that the Goblin is still present, and that because of that, the mask is integrated into the glider itself. It also appears as if the Goblin has made some other major alterations to his glider since being in the Marvel Universe, as the technology in the Marvel Universe is farther along thanks to the likes of Tony Stark than it is in the mainline Spider-Man universe where the Goblin and Norman originate. Therefore, it makes sense that a lot of these upgrades would also take place. Personally, I wish they would have kept this in the final film, as I think it's a huge subtle nod to the mind space that the Goblin is at, and the fact that the Goblin mask is very, very important and isn't just discarded. With that, I don't think it's the biggest plot inconvenience whatsoever that the Goblin does actually get rid of his mask. In fact, I really liked what it meant for the character of Norman and the identity of Norman taking over. But I love the fact that the Goblin will always be there somewhat before he's cured, of course. And I love that they found a way to reintegrate the mask into the Goblin glider in the finale. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this scrapped piece of concept art for Spider-Man No Way Home? And do you wish that the Goblin mask was actually integrated into the glider itself in the finale? As always, my friends, hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.